Days Gone has proven to be a very difficult game for me to describe my thoughts on. I think the game is a good game, but I also don't. Yeah, try scripting a video where every time you say something you like, you also have a criticism along with it. So I feel the best way for me to get this video done is by starting the video saying, if you are someone who loves Days Gone, I 100% get it. For the first 20 to 30 hours, I was right there with you. I couldn't wait to beat the game, just so I could shout the game's praises from the rooftops. This wasn't the result of hype, as I really didn't have any coming into Days Gone. No. This was because I loved the setting, I loved the characters, I loved the story. I just was having trouble putting the game down. I couldn't get enough of the game. Until I could. This is a topic I've never really spoken about on the channel, and it's never really been something I've thought about until Days Gone. Can a game be too long? It's a weird concept because as consumers, you'd think the longer the game, the better the value, right? Well, in the case of Days Gone, no. At least not for me. Now, is Days Gone one of the longest games I've ever played? No. It'll take you around 35 hours to play through the story if you don't do much of the side content. If you do said side content, you're looking at close to 60 hours to complete all of the extras. Personally, I didn't do all of the side content, but I did do a good chunk of it, and it took me around 45 hours before I'd had enough. That's right, I did not beat Days Gone. Now, as a rule, I do not review games I don't beat. I like to have all the facts before I post a video giving you my full thoughts. Which is why this here is not a review for Days Gone. Instead, I just like to talk about my issues with the game, and why after 45 hours, I couldn't bring myself to keep playing the game. I think it's important to say this because I can already hear someone typing it below. I think Days Gone would have been an incredible 20 to 30 hour game. I know this because after the 30-hour mark is where the game's issues really started bothering me. They'd overstayed their welcome. Now 30 hours of enjoyment is no joke, and I do think it's important to say that I can still recommend the game to some. 30 hours of wanting to know what happened next in the story, wanting to see it through because it had hooked me in, 30 hours of riding around doing missions, 30 hours of Deacon St. John. Again, if the game found a way to end at the 30-hour mark, this would be an experience I'd recommend everyone go out and have. Unfortunately, my biggest issue with the game only gets worse the more you play. The framerate fucking sucks. I honestly love how good looking this game is, but as I said in my Mortal Kombat video, I will take a good framerate over amazing graphics every day of the week. Now, I played the game on my standard PS4, but I've heard issues similar on the PS4 Pro as well. Whilst this isn't usually make or break for me, considering for the most part it is exclusively related to riding your bike, which can be skipped if you clear out checkpoints and camps to get fast travel points around the world. It again just overstays its welcome. I can tolerate the frame drops and sometimes flat out freezes when I was genuinely having fun. Once I'd stopped having fun, you guessed it, the frame rate pissed me off. It also seems to get worse. Basically, after you go to the last area, the performance seems to take another hit and has the frame rate issues more and more often. Which, guess what? I hit the last area around the 30-hour mark. Yes, another issue I had is the story once you hit this new military area. Deacon goes from being likable to being this little military pushover. Why? Well, that's a spoiler, and I'd still recommend the game, so I'll keep my mouth shut. Let me just say I have a way better idea for the story in this area, and again this would cut down on the game's length, and I'd be speaking a lot more positively about my experience. Chuck us a message on Twitter if you want to hear the spoiler and my solution at MayorHairBear. Go chuck me a follow while you're over there. On the minor side of issues, the game is littered with weird bugs, like hordes that appear out of thin air. Seriously, this is usually funny until one spawns right in front of your bike as you're riding. Yeah, that'll kill you real quick. The human AI as well also seems to have no peripheral vision, which makes stealth a million times easier, but also makes the enemies feel a million times dumber than they should. I also think there should have been moral choices available. Like Deacon has this code, he doesn't shoot unarmed women. Like why? Why can't I develop Deacon into what I want him to be, or portray what I would do in said situation? Really, I'm nitpicking now though. Look, the point I'm trying to get across in this video is that Days Gone was a game where I was genuinely engrossed in its world, its story, its characters, the gameplay mechanics, the freakers and hordes. I honestly thought I was going to be another voice in the community that had nothing but good things to say about the game. Sure, I had my issues with the frame rate, and the game is pretty buggy at times, but I didn't care. I was still going to say it was a game you should go out and experience. I still think it is a game you might be interested in, especially down the track if they get some bug and frame rate issues resolved. But I think this is just a lesson that just because your game is 30 plus hours doesn't make it better than if it was only 20. Things you can tolerate for so many hours, eventually, well, you can't. At least I couldn't. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Seriously, this video is like my 4th attempt. It took so long to really get down what I felt about this game. If the game still looks like it's for you, go pick it up. Hopefully you'll enjoy the full product more than me. If you enjoyed this video though, don't forget to leave it a like, comment below your thoughts on Days Gone if you've played it. Subscribe if you're new, I do videos on the regular. If you want to keep up to date on my gaming pickups and opinions on games as I play them, check out my Instagram and Twitter, both are at MayorHairBear. I recently picked up both Rage 2 and A Plague Tale, so those will be what's next up for the channel. But for now, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.